In this episode, we will look at the copy command. There are two important parts within the copy command, friends. These are really very important. This part is something you will always encounter both in Twinmotion and Unreal Engine. Now, normally when you select an object, friends, let's approach it correctly. When you select the move command performs a copy operation at the same time, but only when you hold down the shift key. Now, while the move command is active, I press the shift key. I pulled it to the right side and released it. There are two methods here, instance and copy. Now the number count is in spacing. The distance in between. Now they are easy. Now the instance and copy command have meaning. Friends, if you say instance, in instance, you transfer the same texture property of this object here, and it becomes its twin. So when I apply a texture to this, it will be the same. When I perform an operation on this, it will also be the same. Private. If you say instance, in the name of the copy, all the summaries you have made with it will reflect on these. That is, it reflects on its twins. But if you say copy, it won't reflect. Let's do an example. I said instance. I said OK. I copied two instance textures. I came from the material section. Look, friends, now I took it. Did you see? I took it here. I placed it here. Look, even though this is marked, I'm placing it. This is also affected by it, because why? I copied it as an instance. That's why. Let's do it like this. Let's say I placed it here. I took this. Look, I pressed shift again. I duplicated it from here. Instance or copy? Copy, I said this time. I pressed OK. Look, friends. Did you see? This is the difference. In an instance, it continues by copying all the properties of the material. But this is not valid in a copy. Look, I'm copying this. When I place it here, the others are not affected, because I did this with a copy. I did the others with an instance. In many programs, there is this instance and copy command. Friends, you can apply the event you see here to others as well. Our other event is duplicating by number, so let's take this here. Friends, I press the password button and say, I came. I left it up to here. Am I marking the station as a copy? Well, from here, I'm throwing it. How many should it be? Let it be 4, specific 1.18 meters. Let it be 1 meter. I pressed OK. Look. This is the distance from center to center, friends. Don't mind that it's very sideways. Since the distance from the center of this to the center of that is 1 meter, they are stuck together, like this. You can adjust the distance between them according to your preference. For example, let's make more adjustments, if you want. Let it be a copy this time. Let's make it 3 meters. Let the number be 10. When I say, OK, look, as you can see, I have a duplication process like this. They are all selected. I am selecting this as well. Let me show you a nice feature. A little more. Let's make it fun, friends. While duplicating 10 of them, look at this. I lifted it up like this. Friends, there is a new feature in Twinmotion that came in 2023 or 2024, so that you don't get too confused. I was actually going to show this in the last lessons, but I will show it, because I think it will be a nice element of fun when objects are selected. When you press this part, it has a physics engine. When objects are selected, when all are selected, friends, the physics engine here, namely the gravity tab, takes it to the 0 point, but does so by calculating the physics in the world. Look, I'm pressing it now. Did you see? Look, these here were affected more. Because they are circular, this effect came side by side like this. These. I'm taking the move command. I took it like this. Look, I will do it again now. I dropped it again. Look, did you see? Since it has its own physics engine, it performs this operation thanks to this physics engine. If we disrupt the terrain, it will perform an even different operation. I took this command again. Look, this leaves a natural effect. Friends, it leaves a natural effect when you create any scene. If you drop the materials from top to bottom, you will encounter a realistic image because there will be a natural spread. Look, I'm pressing again. Of course, if these objects were to break apart, that is, separate into sections, we will do that at a more advanced level. Their pieces would also scatter around. You will get a different effect this way. Friends, as you can see, this is the process. In the final part, there was a natural spread.